What is going on, guys? Drums here today, bringing you a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about Infinite Warfare. And as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about my experience with the game. As some of you probably do not know, I went to Call of Duty XP. I went ahead and got the Prestige Pass, went with my girlfriend and a few friends, and had honestly an awesome time. It was a really crazy event. It was a lot of fun. Had way more fun than I expected. I knew it was going to be epic, but I had no idea what was in store for us because I never got to go to the previous one that was in LA back in 2011. So it was awesome to finally get a chance to be able to go, and I really today just want to bring you guys my experience with Infinite Warfare and hopefully help you guys decide whether or not this is a game that you're going to be interested in playing, because I know there's a lot of hate out there towards this game, and I really kind of want to give my personal opinion of the game out there just so that I can help better defend the game, because I do think that although this game may not be what everybody is looking for in a Call of Duty, it definitely has a lot of the qualities that a lot of the developers has spoke about, and I feel that overall it was honestly a fun game. So I'm going to go ahead and touch on a few major topics that I want to cover in this video, and I hope you guys enjoy. As always, please drop a like on the video if you enjoy the information I'm providing you, and please subscribe for more so that way you can check out more videos as we approach beta and the final launch of the game. Alright, enjoy, guys. So as I sat down to play this game for the first time inside of one of the Activision tents that was being held at the Call of Duty XP experience, I sat down and played the game, and as soon as it booted up, I felt like the engine sort of felt more like a mixture of, it looked kind of like Ghost, but almost a little bit of a Modern Warfare 2 aspect. And I only say this because as I play Black Ops 3 even to this day, that game is very, I feel like Treyarch has always sort of portrayed, the color palettes are a little bit more, I don't want to use the term cartoony, but they're more vibrant. And I felt like this game in particular looked a little more darker, a little more serious game. And I really thought it looked cool from the maps I did play. There were, a couple brighter maps and a couple more spacey maps that were a little darker, maybe dull, or a little bit more, sort of had that like hospital, like a white fluorescent tone to it. But I really liked how it looked, and the motion blur in this game was absolutely stunning. I thought graphically it looked beautiful. I know we were playing on PS4 and we were playing on some BenQ monitors, and the setup was really nice, but I feel like even without that kind of setup, it still looked beautiful. Like, the art behind it was nice. So that was one of my first impressions of the game, is that it sort of looked and played like an Infinity Ward game. And that was good to me. I've always liked Infinity Ward, even though I know that since Modern Warfare 3 it's been, a really different set of minds behind that company, but I do feel like they've still been carrying out that brand that they've always been pushing and that we've all grown to love in the Call of Duty environment. So on a technical standpoint, one of the first things I want to touch on was the weapon variants. Now, this is something that was mentioned but was not playable in the game, the version that we got to play, but something that kind of worried me off the bat, and I feel like in Advanced Warfare, even though that wasn't an Infinity War title, weapon variants in that game sucked. To be completely honest, the way you were able to get them inside of the loot crates and all that whole advanced supply drop kind of thing really made the game unbalanced, and especially when they had it in the ranked playlist, I felt like that was totally just not how it's supposed to be played. And I don't know if that's because their support on the developer side for esports wasn't really there, and sometimes that's good. Sometimes it lets room for creativity flow through and everything's not so vanilla and watered down, but I felt like that was something that just wasn't fair in a gameplay sense, and that had frustrated a lot of people. So hearing that weapon variants was going to be in this game was kind of off-putting, but I know that it's kind of there to allow more creativity, and I feel like in this game, the weapon crafting kind of stuff is going to be definitely something new, and I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as like the loot crate sort of supply drops that everyone's been getting, and I'm hoping that it's becomes viable in a different sort of way. Second off, I want to touch on the combat rigs. Now, this is something that was really cool. I like how we went from just having perks to having these abilities, and I know that Black Ops 3 brought these in and it became like a meta for the game, and it was really cool. But in this game, the way they have it with the traits and the payloads, I think it's cool that there's a particular trait to a character, and then also that they have a particular ability that they can use. So instead of, it just adds a lot more layer to the game, and I like how different characters had that. I mostly played as the sniper character. I completely forget what his name was. I'll probably put an annotation or something on it. But his character, I would always use the invisibility perk, or trait I believe it was, because I liked how it really helped out when I was playing that version of the game, because a lot of people didn't see where I was at, and it was awesome. And I know that that's something that is in Black Ops 3, so it was nice to have something familiar, but also something that still was able to deliver a different kind of experience per character. And the fact that you can adjust these kind of things mid-game reminded me a lot of Battlefield and that series, and how you can, you know, consistently adjust your classes. And I was a really big fan of that, so I'm happy that there's something of that sort of coming into this game, and sort of the way the interface works. The third thing I want to touch on is sniping. Now in this game, I felt like the sniping was a little difficult, but everything that I had hit in the game, I did do some quick scoping, my fair share, a pretty decent amount, because that's the most thing I was concerned about, was how does the sniping work, how does it feel, how does it look. And I liked it. I believe the gun I was using was, I think it was called the KSR longbow or something like that. The only bolt action we had access to in the game. The other one was a semi-automatic rifle, basically. And I felt like it was pretty lethal, and I liked it. And I actually got some decent, I guess, semi-clip worthy kind of montage moments. I got, I don't remember if I hit a collateral or not, I believe maybe, but then I also hit like a couple 3 pieces and triple kills and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun, and I think the sniping will be something that a lot of people will grow towards, and I think that it's actually fast enough to be able to get, you know, some kind of feed in the game. So I definitely enjoyed the sniping, and I'm hoping that with more practice, it'll become more practical through the game. The fourth thing I wanted to touch on was the ballistic weapons versus the laser weapons. Now in my opinion, I prefer the ballistic weapons. Maybe that's just because I'm a classic Call of Duty kind of person, but essentially in this game there's ballistic weapons, which are guns that use ammunition, and then there are the sort of the beam rifle or the laser weapons. And there's like, for example, there's an AK that shoots lasers in this game, but then there's also sort of an M4 kind of variant assault rifle, and just different kind of guns. And I really enjoyed how in this game there's also some crazy guns, like how there's a submachine gun that can turn into an akimbo weapon, but also be, you know, just a standard like kind of rifle. And just they have some crazy animations, and I'm really interested to see what other guns will have these animations, because we didn't get to play with all the weapons, of course, even though we had a pretty decent amount to pick from. But like I said, I stuck to a lot of sniping. I personally preferred the ballistic weapons over the laser weapons, but it was cool that, you know, there's a mixture there, and that they're catering to both sides of the fence. One of the last things I wanted to touch on in my experience with playing Infinite Warfare early was the maps. There was one particular map, I don't remember all the names, but it was inside almost like a 2-story kind of spaceship, or I guess like a space center. It was really cramped. Honestly, it was very hard to play. It was really easy for people to spawn behind you. I don't know if it's because we were playing domination, but I think it was kind of like we were playing a lot of team deathmatch, and it was just all over the place, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. That map was way too cramped, and it wasn't that there was necessarily not that many layers or lanes to go through. It's just that there was so many objects in the way and tight corridors that it was very hard to play, in my opinion. But there was a map that I remember particularly was my favorite, called Throwback. That was sort of, it looked like maybe it was more like Planet Earth, and it was just more of a regular kind of map. It reminded me a lot of the map from Black Ops 2 called Studio, which was also a remake of the Black Ops 1 map, Firing Range. I don't know why. I think it's just kind of the color scheme. It just sort of seemed like it was one of those maps that had like a very earthy, sort of humanistic sort of vibe to the map, and the way the colors were, they were very similar to that map. So definitely go check out that map. I'm sure some people probably know what I'm talking about. It's a fairly popular map, but that was sort of my favorite map. There was also the terminal map, which is really cool, and I felt like it was definitely, you know, a really almost a carbon copy of the game, but there was a couple different things. For example, there was certain ladders that were removed that required jetpacking to get on top of like that sort of the gas tanker area of the map, and then also like going in and out of the plane and coming out of the glass. And it was nice definitely to have some different variation on the map, but I felt like it was still the terminal that we all enjoy, and sniping down like sort of the long range corridor was a lot of fun, and it was just very easy to move around the map. And I was happy that I was doing fairly well in it, because I knew how the layout was and a lot of people didn't. I don't know how. I thought Modern Warfare 2 was really popular in the game, but of course there's always new people coming in, new people playing the game. So one of the last things I definitely want to touch on, aside from the maps, and I know I probably already said this before, but this is for sure the last thing I want to touch on, and that is the boosting, the overall feel of the game. Like I said, it kind of felt like Modern Warfare 2, and Ghost maybe mixed in with some motion blur added on top. But I feel like The thrusting, it didn't feel like Black Ops 3 to me. The wall running was not as apparent. I didn't feel like I was forced to wall run. On Black Ops 3, there's a lot of really flat, huge walls to climb on, and I felt like this game didn't have that. It didn't cater to that as much. I felt like the thrusting was more of something that was used to get onto different layers on the map, and I felt like it wasn't really used as much in gunfights as people would think. And I don't know if that's because I was excited and everyone was excited to play it, that they weren't thinking about where to wall run or where to jump. But I felt like for the most part I was just using the boosting for jump shots or to peek certain areas of the map or to climb to certain levels of the map. Wall running just didn't seem like a big thing to me, and I feel like it was more just used to sort of get around the map. It wasn't used to really juke anybody or used to go down some kind of crazy side of the map. It just wasn't as big of a draw, that I feel like in this game it'll be different. I feel like when people said that they're going for that, classic Call of Duty feel, I feel like they're bringing it. They're bringing new technology into it, but they're not changing the way the maps play. And I was a really big fan of how this game felt, and I think a lot of people are really gonna enjoy it. I feel like it's an understatement that people think that it's maybe not gonna be that great of a game, because after playing it, it really blew away my expectations. And although I will be playing Modern Warfare Remastered a lot, of course, because I love that game, I feel like there's only so much Call of Duty 4 I can play to where I'm gonna be interested in trying this new game out. And I'm really excited for everyone else to play it, and for myself to get my hands on it some more, especially between the beta period and also when the game fully releases. So, as always, please drop a like on the video, guys. I really appreciate the support. And go ahead and drop a comment if you're going to play Modern Warfare Remastered or Infinite Warfare more. And if you are going to play Modern Warfare Remastered more, I do suggest that you give Infinite Warfare a try, because I think you will be blown away at how much hate it's gotten versus how much fun it actually is. And please subscribe for more videos. I want to try to make uploading a daily thing for my channel and just keep on bringing some entertaining content to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and see ya.